With Excel 2013 comes a new feature with charts, and that is the recommended charts. Previously, you would have to have created the charts the normal way, but now we have a very quick method to help us out. Let's take the Sales Data 2013 file and we'll work with January. Now, I have my data and I'm thinking this would look quite good with a chart to graph that data. If I highlight the cells I would like to graph, and then I go up to Insert, Recommended Charts. This opens a dialog box with a number of recommended chart types down the left here, and all I need to do is click through those recommended charts to see a preview, and then pick the one that I'm interested in. So it's recommending a clustered bar, a stacked column, where each color represents a different product. So we can see there that East has got the highest sales, and then a large proportion of those are cars. We have a clustered column, so you have a little block for the actual sales, and then each vehicle type is a separate cluster. A stacked column, so everything's stacked. A bubble, which shows the planes sales, and then a 100% stacked column, where the columns are stacked to 100%, and effectively each shady color is then a proportion of the total. That way you can compare values between, in this case, regions. Although the totals are different, if we look at the proportions of the total, that's sometimes a little easier to compare the values. That way we can see that West has sold more cars as a proportion of their total sales. They may only have sold one, but they've sold a large proportion than the other three regions. So these are the recommended charts. You simply choose the chart that you like the look of. I'm going for the quite plain clustered column, and then OK. And your chart appears as an object on the sheet, and we can move that object and we can resize the object. Stay with the corner handles and everything stays in proportion. Use the horizontal and the vertical and things are moved out of proportion, but you will find once you've finished resizing the object area, the graph scales to fit inside the area. So sometimes making it taller is actually what you want to happen, or wider, dependent on your data really. Now you can see with the graph selected that the data being used is highlighted. So this red area here are your labels, the purple area there are your labels for each of the clusters, and then the blue area is the actual value that is being graphed in each of the bars. And that's a recommended chart. Very quick and easy. If we did the same in February, you'll see this time I'm not actually going to highlight any data. Insert a recommended charts, and it manages to pick up this whole data set. And because I've highlighted nothing, you will see it's actually including the total in the graph, which will skew some graphs, because the total obviously is much larger than an individual region. But we're still offered a number of chart types. This time we've been offered a stacked area, which was different to before, and this one's different to before because the bars are horizontal, and then there's a line chart as well. So you will see that the recommended chart types are not always the same, so you may get offered different ones each time. The main reason that these are different is because there's a slightly different set of data because the totals are included. If you don't want the totals included, then you will need to do as we did in January, which is to actually highlight the data that you would want graphing along with the labels so it knows what to place in the chart as labels. Then go to recommended charts, and you'll see we get the same options then as we got when we were in January, because we don't have those large total columns and rows to choose. This time I'm going to go for clustered column. OK. The chart appears as an object that we place where we want and resize to fit so it displays on the sheet.